What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with a lucky dip, essentially. Indeed, big shout out to Herman, major friend and champion of the channel, has shared a number of things with us, including the Red Flag material, as well as a Sinead O'Connor tune, which I'm sort of in two minds, because now I've started at the beginning of her catalog and I'm going through it, but there is a track that Herman requested from Sinead, so I'll see what I can do there, and maybe we'll jump ahead for that just as a sort of special one. Either way, another thing that he asked to look into was a track by Clarke, an artist I'm not familiar with. I haven't even seen that name before, so I have no basis for what her music is like. But yeah, a track called Our Darkness, and it's a remix. So I don't know, I assume that this departs in one significant way or another from any studio or like album versions. So yeah, bottom line, I don't really have a basis for comparing this to an original or for what we might get here given that I don't know the artist. But the title, Our Darkness, I'm intrigued by because it's inclusive, right? It's saying that the speaker or the narrator and somebody or maybe multiple other people share a darkness. Now, maybe that's a darkness of their minds, maybe it's a darkness of the world around them or imposed upon them. Perhaps it's specifically a darkness that's about the connection itself. So I'm intrigued by the title. Let's find out what it is. This is Clarke. The tune is Our Darkness, and it's a remix. Give me the kick drum. It's a bit like futuristic, it's a bit like horror movie. Feels like the kick's turned around. Like the hard hit is at the back end of the kick. All these little rhythms.
For these city nightmares you walk with me, and we talk of it with idealistic assurance that it wouldn't tear us apart. We keep our heads above the blackened water, but there's no room for ideals in this mechanical place. And you're gone now,
Weak. Trying to keep your head above water, but there's no space there.
Through a brand new window that I can't
deep and a bit funky bass groove. I like how at each stage it has a slightly different feel. When it was fully stripped down, it had a very tribal feel. And then bring back a couple elements, including the bass line, it's a bit funky. And then now with the melody, it has this, it's bigger and brighter again.
When we pass the subways, we try to ignore our fate there. I've written threats on endless walls, unjustified crimes carried in stifled halls. Would you walk with me now through this pouring rain? It used to mingle with our tears, then drive the hopes that we left behind. It rains even harder now.
It's like percussive artillery. Holy smokes. That was an insane tune. I mean, number one, like I said, I think it was a flip kick, but it was a sledgehammer of a kick drum. Like real dance floor, like foot stomping sort of quality for the tune overall. And like I said, all those little percussive layers and the bass groove, and it just gave it this really dynamic quality. Though, as I said, like the different configurations gave off slightly different atmosphere. But overall, again, it was, even though it had some electric brightness to it, as I was saying, it was a very dark and driving tune. And a tune with a lot of intensity. It felt, again, a bit like a horror movie mixed with like futuristic electronic qualities. So yeah, a really compelling tune sonically. Vocals different than maybe I expected. I don't know what I expected, because again, I don't know this artist. But even when it started, I thought like, okay, it might be like a haunting vocal. And it was sort of, but it was more like a forceful vocal, a bleak, telling you the dark miseries. And it really did feel like we were in a city or like an urban nightmare for a lot of it. And a lot of the phrases were like, this other person has been lost, they're gone, there's no room for any space or creativity, you're trying to get above water. Like, it just felt like everything about what we were told is that, it's bleak, it's dark, and things don't work out, and it's brutal. So ultimately it felt like the sentiment that at least seemed to come across in a couple points. So a really cool tune, and another one with some driving, like heavy dance floor quality. So I love that. So big shout out to Herman, big appreciation for all the stuff you shared. And indeed, I think there's still some material out there for Red Flag, the 2000 stuff anyway. So yeah, bottom line, always more to do, but I do appreciate all the stuff you shared. Do let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.